back to session on collection and framework. So before starting development of any connector or maybe let's say any adapter, so first of all you must have a basic knowledge of how to use collection and framework. So if I will talk about the collections, means generally if you go for Java, then generally if you learning the collection frameworks, so generally you learn several topics like first of all you learn collection data is the very first topic in the syllabus. Okay, then after that we go for something map data. Okay, and third one very important, cursors. So there are many more like collection sorting is there. Okay, then stream API are there, but for our OIM purpose, if you know these three topics well, then definitely you will have a good knowledge on collection and you can utilize that knowledge over the OIM. Okay, fine. So first of all, the very first question came into your mind is why collection, right? So now we are going to discuss the majority, the concept is collection. For OIM, being honest, we don't use collection, we use map. But in order to understand map, what do you have to learn? First of all, you have to learn collection properly and object orientation. If you are very good in objects, then it's very easy to learn collection. If not, I'm trying to make it easy for you. Okay, so let's start. So the first of all, the question is why collection, right? So you already know about arrays, right? You already know about the array and collection. So without wasting your time, I can tell collection is nothing but the replacement of array nowadays. So nobody use arrays, everybody use collection. There are several points, guys. If I start discussing only this points, only going to take the one more session, and that seriously I don't have that much time to explain because this is not a Java class. So being short, the point is the session collection are nothing but the replacement of array. What was the problem with array was, let's say this is an array and here in the array you have a homogeneous type of data. Let's say 1, 22, 55. Let's say if it is an integer array, then you have the integer kind of data, right? You can't put any different things. You can't put, let's say, let me put 55 again. So you can have duplicates, you can have duplicate, but you can't have different type of data. So string, so you can say the array is homogeneous. Okay, homogeneous collection of data. Fine. So the problem is if you want to hold the heterogeneous type of data, there are a lot of solutions given by core Java itself. That is, you can use object classes, but I'm not going that much depth right now. So in order to do so, the same thing, if you want to do, let's say you want to store heterogeneous kind of data, then you go for collection. Okay, so then you go for collection. Example of a collection, let's say you have a school bag. In your school bag you have, let's say, some different notebooks, your books, let's say your water bottle, your money, your tiffin, and number of things you have, right? Means book and water bottle are not same thing, it's heterogeneous thing. So collection is nothing but collection of heterogeneous data or things. So let's say this is an integer, right? Everything in Java is object. So this is also an object. This is an integer object, right? This is an integer object. Okay. Similarly, here book is an object. Let's say purse is an object. Bottle is an object. Let's say you want to create an object of student. Let's say there is a scenario I given. There are student objects. Let's say the student object 1, student object 2, student object 3. Let's say this is a student object. So let's say this is student 1. Let me write here student 1. Okay, this is one object. Let's say this is student 2. This is the second object. Let's say student 3. My question is, can I create an array of this? Yeah, definitely. If you want to create an array of same data type, it's allowed. Means here if you want to keep this array, you can easily keep it here. Means student object is you can put here, here, and here. But generally how you store the object? Means in array, is it possible to store objects? No, because this is an array. Array generally store reference. You can't store object anywhere, you store reference. Okay, so let's say I'm going to write an expression over here. I'm going to write this expression. Let's say I want to store students, right? So I will write student. Okay, and I'm going to store let's say student, and let's say s equals to new student. So what it will do, so after writing what it will do. Let's say I give a limit of 5, I can max store 5 objects. Okay, let's say 3, let me give 3. So what it will do, how the things will happen, since I'm written new student, 3 objects will be created. That's how Java work, right? New student, one object will be here, one object will be here, and one object will be here. This object have some different locations. Let's say this object is created, let's say 1010 location is the location of the object. Let's say this object created at 1020 location, and let's say this object is created 2050 location. That's the location number, right? Memory address, we can tell. So how this structure will be stored in the array? Okay, how the structure will be stored in the array? Let's say how right now this structure, this particular structure is created, this only this box is created, this student objects are still not created. So how to create those student object? Let me quickly change the color. So this will be written like this: s of 0 means the zeroth index of this array is gonna store one student object, is going to store one student object. That's it. If you are writing this, what will happen after writing this? All the Java statements always execute from right to left, right? So right will be executed first. So new student, immediately a new student will be created. Okay, let's say with ID 1010, and this s of 0 is going to hold 1010. 1010 will be stored here, means you can say it's referring to this location, means it's referring to this student. Again, let's say you are going to write something called s of 1 is going to hold, you are writing new student. What will happen? The code will execute from right to left, a new student will be created immediately, and let's say its reference is 1020. So this guy is going to hold 1020, means the value of s of 1 is 1020. So here it will be stored 1020. So don't be a misconfused like it will have a object. This is a array of objects, yes, fine, but it will not have objects, it will have its reference. Same way, if you are going to write this picture, you should have a clear clarity before starting. So new student, and let's say I'm writing this. So what will happen, new student will be created at the location, let's say 2050. This 2050 will store in this location. That's it, as easy as you can see, right? So here it is refer like this. So this till here, this is how the array works. Now the same way for here, you can also assume the same concept. When I am writing new student, immediately this structure will be created. Immediately this structure will be created with 3 means 3 sections. Okay, 3 sections will be created. And after that, there will be a variable will be created. A variable will be created, and let's say the variable name is s. So a variable will be created, let's say like this. A variable is created whose name is s, and this s is also a array type of variable. So what it will hold, this array type of variable will hold the base address of this. Okay, so you can simply not like this, it will be created a simple s variable will be created, which is of array type. Okay, and student type, and it will hold the first memory location or first base location of this particular array. So this picture will be created when you write the first code, and these pictures will be created when you write these many code. Fine. Now what is the problem? Let me show what the problem will occur when, let's say I'm going to write something like this. I'm going to write, let's say we have only two elements. Let's say let me remove this. Let me remove this one. Let's say in array we only have two elements. Just forgot about three objects. Let's say we have only two array objects. Okay, fine. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to write one line. I'm going to write new employee. What will happen? Immediately an employee object will be created, right? As soon as I written this line, new employee I written, immediately one employee object will be created. Let me make it different color. So a new employee object will be created. So here it's a new employee object, new employee, and it will be also created in some location. Let's say 3333. That's the location number it's created. Now I want to refer this object. How I will write? In order to refer this particular object, I have to write in array, right? In s array. Okay, in second location I want to put its address. So in this way I will write, right? Means what it's supposed to do, it should hold a address, let's say 3333, but that's the case which is not allowed, because this array is created in such a way it will only hold, it's, you can see, it will, this array will only hold the reference of students. So this 3333 is checked by compiler, is not the reference of particular student object, it's a reference of some other class or object. Okay, so this employee is a different object. Okay, so is 3333, if I'm going to put, it's not allowed, because this 3333 is not belong to student class, right? So here you can only put the reference of objects which belong to student class. So if you try to do this, this is not allowed in array, right? So that's why we can't put heterogeneous element in the array. Till now we are clear, right? So the funda should be very much clear. Whatever the reference you are using, that reference, okay, should only point to the object of that class. Means let's say this is reference of student class, then student class reference will only point the student object and lower. What is mean by lower? So let's say that's a very important line actually. So let's say there is a person class, okay, and this person class is the parent of student class and person, not person, it should be employee. It should be employee. So this person class is the parent of student class as well as employee class. Now see how it will work. I want to create an array which can, right now what was the problem? This array is an array which can only hold student object but not person, not employee object. But I want such an array which not only holds student object but also hold employee object. Is it possible? Yes, it is also possible. It is possible using inheritance. Let's say let's say this is a person class, right? So using inheritance I can do that, I can achieve that thing. So how can I write? Let's say I'm going to write here person. Okay, I'm going to create one p reference, okay, and new person array. New person array, let's say size 3. What it will do, it will immediately execute from right to left. Here three boxes will be created, right? Immediately it will create three boxes. Okay, fine, till here no issue, right? And the base location, let's say it's have some base location. Let's say its base location is let's say 1010 is the base location of array, and that base location will be saved in the variable, let's say p. In say variable, let's say p is a variable. So let me take it up little. Okay, fine. And here it will be 1010. So what will do, it will do, it will point to this location. Till here no issue. Now what I'm going to write, here I'm going to write new person. What it will do, then I'm going to write new student. What it will do, and I'm going to write new employee. What is going to do. So, as we all know, after writing this particular statement, three objects will be created. Let's say. So, let's say I'm writing new person. What will happen after writing the new person? It will create a person object, right? A person object will be created. Let's say this is a person object. So, let's say this is a new person. Like this, it will be created. New person. Fine. And let's say memory address is, let me give something, let 4444, like this is memory address. Let me take it little up. Okay, new person will be created. Let's say I written new student. Okay, and before that let me do something else. What I'm going to do, I'm going to hold this student, this person object, by a reference variable of person array. So what I'm going to write, p of 0 equals to this. So what it will do immediately, p of 0 equal to this means this is a p of 0. P of 0 is going to hold this 4444. Okay, means it will start pointing to the person object. If I will write p of 1, p of 1, what it will do, if I will write p of 1 means I am telling first new student object will be created. Fine, it will create one new student object. Let's say it will create one new student object. Let's say it's a new student. It's a new student object, and let's say it have some memory location. Let's say it's have a memory location, let's say 5555. Okay, so I am telling hold the memory location of student object in the array, means here 5555. So is it allowed? That's the question. Yes, it is allowed. It can hold, this array can hold the address of, let's say this is a, this array is created to hold the person class object reference. So by the rule, it can hold only the person class object and lower. Lower means whatever the classes are extending this person class will also be, can be used here. Means also their reference can be hold. But let's say I'm writing an animal class, there is an animal object that I'm trying to do, it will not permit because animal is no, not even linked with the person. Okay, that point should be clear. Okay, so if I'm creating a person class and in the person class array, that array can hold the object of the person class. Okay, means this array can hold the object of the person class. This array can hold the object of student class. Let me minimize it. Okay, fine. Okay, so this array can hold object of person, object of student. But let's say, let me clear you, let me ask you one question. Let's say I create an array of not person, of student, and I am trying to hold the object of person from the student array. Will it allow? No, it will only go for equal or lower. It will not go for, it will always go for equal, but it will not go for higher. Okay, so if you create the object of, means a array of, let's say student class, so it will hold the student object and its child, not its parent. That should be clear. So again, I am able to hold heterogeneous object, but those heterogeneous objects somehow related with a parent, means there should be some relation. But I can't again hold, let's say a object called lion, so I can't hold this lion from here, it's not allowed. Okay, means you can hold only the address of whatever the class this array have. Okay, this array is created for and it's lower, but still the issue is not resolved, right? Still the issue is not resolved, right? Means you can't means you can't store the heterogeneous people here. So the first solution was failed. First solution was parent child relationship, but you can't make the person like child, like lion or animal is the child of person class. You can't make like such relations. So this solution is not valid all the places, it's not universal solution. So the second set of solution is object class. What came into the picture? The second set of solution came into the picture, which is object class. So what this object class will do? We all know object class is the parent class of all the classes, right? So using object class you can achieve this. Means let's say if I'm writing object array, let's say object array, let's say obj equals to new object, this kind of array I created. So this array have the capability to hold this array, let's say 10. Let's say this array has the capability to hold all the kinds of object. So this array have the capacity to hold all kind of object, because all object belong to some class and every class belong to child of this class. So this point should be clear. You can hold object of the same class or lower. If this is clear, you will not face any kind of issue while learning collection. So let's come to the collection. I hope this point is clear. So what is collection? Let's come to the collection. So collection is nothing but it's a group of objects. Let's say we want to create one group of objects, let's say group of different object, then we will go for collection. Then each thing is a different object. In collection everything is an object. So in one line you can write collection is a container, okay, of object. Collection is an is a container of object which holds the object, right? Is a container of object. That's a very important point you should remember. So there are some important terminology you should understand in order to learn the collection. The first is element. So what is element? Element is nothing but an particular object is called element. Means each entry is element. Like this is one element, this is another element, and this is another element, like this. And the collection is a collection of object. And one very interesting thing is, let's say this is a collection C1. Let's say this is a collection, let's say C1. Come on, C1. Okay, there's a collection. You can have one another big collection. Let's say this is a very big collection, and this bigger collection can have, let's say, so this collection, let's say its name is C2, its name is C2. So this collection C2 can have its own object, plus this can hold a very big collection inside. That means holding this big collection means holding this three object. So this collection has its two object, let's say, and this C1 collection is also here. This C1 collection is also here, means it's have here C1 collection have three objects, so it have total five objects. So that's also possible in collection. So this is called collections of collections. Collection call also connection collection can not only hold object or collection, it can also hold map as well. So map is also a different part other than collection. As let's say if collection I divide in two parts, first is collection, second is map. So map is a separate part, and each collection have something called capacity. Capacity means how many object it can hold. So here, what is the capacity? Let's say capacity is 10. So how many object we have? 2 plus 3 5. So that is called size. So in our case, size equal to 5, but capacity is 10. So if the capacity is reached, immediately it's follow like a resizable array concept, and it immediately increase the size. Let's say from 10 it will be 20. Let's say it become double automatically like this. So this is not our concern. So I hope collection concept is clear. Okay, so let it be. In today's session, what we will do discuss next in the upcoming sessions are in collection. To learning collection, I hope basics of the collection is clear. So learning collection means learning actually three topics generally we should learn. Okay, in collection, generally you have three types of collection. List is a type of collection data, set is a kind of collection data, and queue is a kind of collection data. Right, fine. So we will see only one of them because all have this, all is parent is collection, right? So all look like same. If you learn one, any of one, you will good in collection for our course. So we will see how this list interface will work in the next session. So this collection is, you should at least know, this is an interface. Okay, and this list is also an interface. Okay, there are set is also interface, but we are not bothering about those things because it will, otherwise it will be so hectic topic for you. Okay, so this collection you should at least know came in Java 1.2 version, as well as list also in 1.2 version. Okay, so that's the important thing to know. Java 1.2 version these things came. Okay, same way this list also came in 1.2 version. In the list we have several thing. Okay, actually list, learning list means learning several thing inside the list. Means let's say list also have category. Let's say array list is there. Okay, linked list is there, vector is there. Okay, linked list is there, then vector is there, stack is there, right, like that. So this array list also came in 1.2 version, that you should at least know. Rather, vector is a legacy class, so it came in 1.0 version. Okay, so the version is that much not important for us, but at least in the beginning you should know. Collection concept came in 1.2, list and array list. But collection actually got popular from Java 1.5. So the reason of being popular from Java 1.5 was, in Java 1.5, I hope you, if you know, it's fine. If you don't know, let me remind you, auto boxing was a concept came in Java 1.5. And this auto boxing, and also came something called generics. Actually, without generic, I'm being very honest, when you learn collection, you will find without generic, collection uses are very difficult. Actually, generic make your life very much easy. Using the collections, if you want to use the collection, generic is something, or even anything you want to learn collection, let's say array list or let's say hash map, whatever. Generic is such a concept, no, it will make your life very easy. So after adding generic and auto boxing, I think collection become very very easy to learn. Okay, because they make the collection very easy to understand. So guys, thank you so much for joining this session. I hope it makes some basics concept clear to you. Before understanding the collection, you should at least know how the things are working before collection. So in the next class onward, we will see how the collection work. And if you have any query, let's discuss after this class. So let me stop the recording. So we will discuss now whatever the things is there. So thank you guys. If you have any query, just let me know. So I will able to help you over there. So thank you so much.